First of all, team news-wise, fitness-wise, how's the squad looking?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, we've been able to rest a few of the squad members over the last couple of weeks, so the balance of the squad will be the same going into this weekend. We're bringing a few senior guys back in to get them game time, and then a mixture of those young academy guys. So the makeup of the squad will be the same. The senior guys are back in training, so we've got a full contingent in the training week, and we're building for Saturday, and obviously then back into the Premiership.
Looking at a couple of the guys that have been out in training, Nick White obviously seems to be up on his feet and looks. You can probably tell me whether he's raring to go or not. And Mitch Lees was up and about training as well in what looked like quite a tough session.
Yeah, they're back in training fully. They had the red bibs on last week, just to obviously watch for the contact area. But they're back in, and they'll be in and around the squad over the next couple of weeks. And it's just about getting them up to speed and getting training minutes into them, and then game time into them over this block. So it's really good to have them back. And from that perspective, it's been a long time since they've put on an extra chief shirt, and if we can get them back in and get them back to the form that they were shown before their injuries, it'll put us in a good position.
Chatting to Stuart Townsend before, who's obviously got the 9 shirt at the moment. Nick White coming back in. It's going to be a real tussle to try and decide who wears that 9 shirt again come the first Premiership game in a week's time, I suppose.
If you look at all the 9s, Jack Maunder's back up and running, is fit and played really well last week. Sam Maunder's younger brother's been getting game time. So from that perspective, I've got a real strong group of 9s here. So from playing minutes, obviously Stu was playing in the last Premiership game, but from that I think all of them are up for selection, and that's what's so good about this competition, that one of 4 or 5 could be in and around that selection when we get back into the Premiership.
What is it that you do here at Sandy Park? Because you've got Jack Maunder, Sam Maunder, Joe Snow, Stuart Townsend have all come up through the ranks and are all, as you said, there or thereabouts. Obviously Nick White is exceptional, but you've been a big influence on 4 of those players. Is there something that you do you think, differently than perhaps they do at other clubs?
I just think probably like most other clubs, just put time into them. As halfbacks, you do have to have a wide variety of knowledge around the game, so we do get them in at a younger age, around 15, 16, 17, and get them in and around the club and expose them to being around the senior coaches, the senior players. So when they come in at 18, 19, it's not so much of a big shock for them. So from that perspective, that's probably where we get the contact time with them, and we work on the skills around that. And then for halfbacks, if they're 18, 19, 20, they have to come in and control a game and be bossing around senior players who are England internationals. They've got to have the characteristics to show that. So I think getting them in early and getting them in and around the squad is probably the best thing that we do with our halfback, and also just the skill work that we get into them as well.
It's a shame you can't play 2 or 3 in a game, because you've probably got enough that they would certainly do that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, no, definitely. We have. It's such a real good position to be in. They're all really good characters as well, and they all are very competitive. They're all friends as well, but they all do drive on the standards of the club. Whether they're on the bench, involved or not involved as well. So that's really good as well as a halfback pairing.
That win over Bath last week was obviously very important in the context of the group, and you go top of the group on kind of score difference, so to speak. You obviously go into a game this weekend now where I suppose realistically it is a game that you need to win if you want to have a good opportunity to progress, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at the minute, Quins are still in the mix. Newcastle are definitely in the mix, obviously with us as well in terms of those points difference. So it's a great opportunity for us to push Quins further away from us, then to put some pressure back on Newcastle. Bath are going to have a say in this, in what the outcome of the group looks like at the end of it. And then we've got a tough game to go away up at Bristol. So we need to get obviously a performance is what we talk about first, and if we can get that and get the result, that can push Quins away and put pressure back on Newcastle, and then we can go back into Premiership with some real momentum, and some sustainability in terms of game minutes, but also then we can be in a strong position going up to Bristol in the last game of the Cup.